Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It is content overload right now on FC26 as Winter Wildcards has absolutely delivered so far. After a wild day of Evos and SBCs, especially that brand new Ronaldinho card, what surprised me the most was actually the market because it did not move at all like we thought it was going to. But that's because everyone seems to be packing these winter wildcard items. This actually worries me for the whole rest of the market. We're going to talk about that today because these new cards are so cheap. They're getting packed so much. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we have some insane evolutions that have been leaked. I don't know if you guys have seen the tweets, but Max 87 and Max 88 evolutions have been leaked. Some of them saying 2 playstyle plus players can be created with some stat boost along with it. Now, we don't think that's coming out right away, but it gives us a look inside how Evos may be changing in the next month via the season pass, and it's actually creating some market movements right now. And of course, we're going to take a look at content coming today on Saturday. As we can already see here in game, EA's bringing back a footmiss favorite of old, where they're giving us player SBCs related to the date. We're getting 2 player SBCs from now every day through Christmas, so there's a lot to look forward to there. And of course, evolution leaks as well. Let's get into it, guys. If you're excited for the video, drop a thumbs up on it, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Let's dive into the video today by looking over yesterday's promo Friday content, of course, starting with the objectives. We've got a new tournament, the Winter Wildcards daily refreshing tournament to play right now, guys. There's 4 different objectives that we're trying to complete while doing this. The first one is the objective number 1. There's going to be a new Winter Wildcards tournament objective dropped every day this week, and we're trying to complete 5 of the 6 of them to get this whole tournament objective done. Those aren't even the best rewards, though. What I think we need to focus on in here is the win objective and the score objective, because take a look at these rewards. Just for scoring in 10 separate Winter Wildcards tournament games, you get a evolution for a left mid that gives wide midfield plus, and most importantly, the intercept playstyle, probably best used on a left mid that can also play left back, but also an 85 times 2, an 82 by 10, and the Winter Wildcards for mean technical plus 5-star skills for position player card here with some good playstyles already that looks primed for evolutions. So that's a good reward for just scoring in certain games. And if you can win the whole tournament through, you get an 82-5, an 83-5, an 82-10, and a badge Evo with the 84 times 5 pack involved there as well. Now, the daily objectives, they don't give terrible rewards. An 81-3, 81-3, and an 82 by 2 with 2,000 SP. So if you need SP, do this Winter Wildcards Tournament Objective 1. But you have to kind of get that done soon, right? You have 2 days to do it. And like I said, there's going to be a new one of these objectives every single day. So playing that mode is pretty easy. It's just a tournament mode. It's unlimited matches, of course. If you go into the tournaments tab here, you can see it, Winter Wildcards Tournament, 30 entries per day, which is basically unlimited matches because it refreshes every single day. So that is that. And if you win the tournament, then you're going to qualify yourself for the tournament finale that will happen next week. So that's one thing to watch out for there. One more objective to discuss, and that is the daily play. If you see here, there's a Winter Wildcards daily play that gives a few coins and some SP. Not the greatest daily play rewards, but it's whatever. There's also a daily play completionist with some better packs and a couple of cosmetic Evos involved there as well. And then there's this Winter Wildcards objective set that gives some kind of holiday themed balls and kits and stuff like that, some badges, a couple of Evos, and then 4 different players, Haraldson, Johnston, and Doy, and Ryerson there as well, if that interests you. So objectives were busy and kind of hard to understand yesterday, of course, with that tournament situation going on. But I do want to mention there is a new live event that EA's actually already kind of teased for next week, Winter Wildcards Exhibition, which is the mystery ball game mode. So next week we're going to have the Winter Wildcards Exhibition and the tournament finale as a part of Winter Wildcards live events and tournaments right there. Now let's talk about Evos. The biggest news with Evos, guys, is that we're not limited to Evoing just 2 players at once now. If you got the Ultimate Edition of the game, you can Evo 3 players at the same time. And if you have the standard edition and you can only Evo 1, now you can do 2. Makes doing Evos super duper easy, especially as we're expecting a lot of Evos during winter wild cards, and chains have been very popular right now. This will be a huge, huge help to getting evolutions done. Now, the big Evo we had yesterday was the Frostbite finisher, max 86 striker evolution that gives low driven shot plus. And notice the thing that I love here is that it gives playstyles up to 7 playstyles on the card. That means we can finally give our Evos more than 6 playstyles, which is very, very nice. The stat boosts here are pretty good. I'm going to be putting in this Randall Colomani. I just got to find another chain for him to boost up the passing a bit, maybe boost up the dribbling a bit more. So I may wait to start this Evo just so we can get some chains as a part of it. I know I have the Javi Simons in here. This is one of the most popular cards coming out of this Evo at the moment. I already put Finesse Plus on mine, which some people would say is an L because he gets, you know, low driven plus when he already has finesse base on his card. That is a really, really good card, and he does get the weak foot boost, which he very much so needs. So I'm tempted to do Javi Simons, but I think I'm going to go with the Randall Colomani. But this is an Evo that is very good, and I think I would wait to chain it, in my personal opinion, for the future. But I love the Max 86 Evos, and going to 7 playstyles, that is very, very nice. But 75,000 coins is a little bit expensive. I do believe it is worthy to say. Also, we have 2 Evos that we forgot to mention in the video yesterday. The left-sided attacker and right-sided attacker that give low driven shot base and a bit of a pace boost. So those are there from a couple, actually technically those dropped on Thursday late night, not even yesterday on Friday, but those are 2 new Evos that are there. The other thing to mention is in the roles tab here of evolutions, there are new center back, right back, basically defender along with CDM Evos here that give you for 10,000 coins all the roll plus pluses for that position. I'm just hoping that they do this as well for the center mids and up the pitch, like center attacking mids, right wings, left wings, strikers, because Max 87 rated roll plus plus evolutions are fantastic. I've already used the center back one. I used it on Ben Davies because he did not have defender plus plus. I've been using him in my team. I was like, yo, I'm giving you defender plus plus because that would help you out a lot. For 10,000 coins, I will absolutely do that. So we're closely awaiting to see if EA will be releasing these roll plus plus Evos for the rest of the positions on the pitch, which would be fantastic if they did. Honestly, Max 87 is the biggest W here. That's some of the highest Evo kind of restrictions that we've had. We've got some other big evolution leaks that we have to talk about today that are for Evos upcoming. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. But one thing I do want to mention is with these Evos, a lot of them now probably allowing 86 rated cards in, like we talked about earlier in the week. It's time to look at 86 rated cards for club stocking. I'm not going to say go crazy ham on investing in 86 rated cards right now, but remember when Reinders was 12K on Thursday when these Max 86 Evos were leaked and we were like, sell, sell, sell. Yeah, he's back down to 7,000 coins. You know, Pina was way up and she's down as well. Nico Williams was 15K. Now he's 8,000 coins. It's time to look at club stocking maybe a couple of these players once again since their prices have come down in packs. I think that's worth mentioning for more Evos that should be coming pretty soon. Now, let's talk about SBCs, guys, because yesterday, of course, we had the big Ronaldinho. I'm already almost halfway through completing this card. It's 14 squads, which seems like a lot, but when you actually look at his price, it's not that bad. This card is missing a playstyle or 2, but other than that, it is just insane vibes from this Ronaldinho card. The opportunity, again, I said it yesterday, but the opportunity that we have to use one of the best icons in the game this early in the game is just a treat. 700,000 coins is the current price of this SBC, which is not bad at all for 14 squads. But the reason this SBC is so cheap is because fodder is in the bin. If you take a look at fodder, this is what we're going to be talking about today with the market. One of the craziest days in the market of the year yesterday with all of the saved up packs, all of the store pack lightning rounds and weekend link rewards too. But the pack weight in general is just insane. And there's so many packs being opened that all of the market, these winter wild cards, these fodder cards, everything else that's in packs is getting cooked. 88 rateds are 8,000 coins. This is insanity, man. 85 rateds were just 5K yesterday because we still need 85 rateds to do the winter provisions pack, right? That gives us all those gold rares and commons. I think these are a good investment for 2,000 coins flat or below. People are going to need to do those SBCs, and sure, we're going to have weekend league rewards throughout the rest of the weekend to supply fodder and stuff, but we're going to, after that, not have weekly rewards, and there's going to be so many SBCs. There's going to be gauntlet rewards untradeable, an SBC pack grind that everybody's doing. We're going to be hitting daily SBCs, icon packs. I think fodder is still personally a good investment. I like 85s all the way up to 88s. 89s, not so sure about because I don't know what other SBCs are going to require 89 rated squads. However, there could be more icon SBCs that do that. Let's just take this little segue here to talk about SBCs that EA are releasing during this promo. They told us that there is going to be, starting today, players with themed SBCs and the featuring of shirt numbers, just like they did back in Footmas in the good old days, with a countdown to Christmas. So, of course, if you go to the SBC tab on the game, you can see this screen right here. We're getting probably Muhammad Kudus and Locatelli today, and then we're going to have 2 SBC players every day up until Christmas. But not only that, we are getting 4 Winter Wildcard Icon SBCs. So 3 left after the Ronaldinho SBC. All their player SBCs, they said, and a selection of puzzle SBCs as well. So there's going to be a lot of fodder demand. There's also new icon packs that we haven't even got yet. So that's why I still think that fodder has potential to rise. I like the 84s to the 88s. Just get on bids because stuff is way cheaper on bids. There were people winning 88s for 2K yesterday in the stream. You're going to be able to get good bids on fodder and still make some good investments there. But back to the content that we got yesterday. Ronaldinho is very good. I cannot wait to use his card. We'll be using him in Foot Champs. And as an 88 rated card, he still fits in some of those requirements for like the, max 88 players, like a couple. I'm absolutely doing that SBC and I'm having so much fun getting it done. Also, we had the Isak SBC yesterday, who's actually pretty cheap. He's 80,000 coins, low driven plus, Liverpool player. Not a bad striker at all with the playstyles that he has. Not the best, but not bad. Only 80K there. For a cheap Prem striker, you can't do too much worse than that, in my opinion. Now, since we're getting a lot of SBCs incoming and we like the fodder investments, there's one more that I need to discuss, and that would be Team of the Week prices. I said yesterday in the stream, please let Team of the Week go down to 12K. They have gone down to 12,000 coins. I think these are a good investment. Try to get them at 12K flat. Bids would probably be your best bet there as well. But the 83 or 82 by 10 refreshes every single day. All these player SBCs, icon packs, EA's probably going to keep requiring Team of the Weeks. I think those could rise over the time of this next week. And I think you have today and maybe into tomorrow on Sunday to get invested in those Team of the Week cards right now. So we'll talk a little bit more about SBCs and how they relate to the market in a bit. But we have got to talk about the market. Guys, these prices of these winter wildcard players are absolutely insane. And I'm worried because I think these cards being this cheap is actually going to cook the rest of the market. Yes, I'm worried about that. Now, these cards, these winter wildcard items are so supplied. They started off yesterday like we thought. They were at a good place to buy. The Cruyff, this Cruyff card has to be the card that we talk about right now, man. Johan Cruyff, 87 rated little bro, 570,000 coins. He was 1.1 million in the first 10 to 15 minutes after the content dropped yesterday. We were saying buy the cards early, they should go up. Well, they did. Cruyff went from 1.1 mil to 1.4 mil. And then after that, what happened was just unbelievable. He just started getting packed and packed, not because of just store packs, but because of saved up packs. There were so many people in the chat yesterday right after content. I just packed 87 Cruyff. I just packed 87 Cruyff. I would love to know how many of you guys packed him because it seems like so many people did. The pack weight for these cards is way higher than expected. Like way higher than expected because you see the number of these players that are on the market. The supply is insane, and the player prices showed it. So the saved up packs, the lightning rounds that EA are running, like this Cornucopia Reloaded pack dropped yesterday. Cruyff was 800K at the time. He went all the way down to 600K before rebounding back up. So this pack actually is a really bad one. If you see this one get released as a lightning round, because it is out right now, there's a lot of supply that comes in from this one because it's a 54% chance of getting a Winter Wildcards player. We were even saying yesterday that we thought EA might change the pack odds on these Winter Wildcards because they're just so packable and they're so cheap. Like, this is way cheaper than we were expecting any of these cards to be. Claudia Pina's 5-star, 85 pace, 190k. What? That is an insane price. The striker versions, 400,000 coins for higher shooting and higher physical and a different low-driven playstyle plus. Unbelievable prices on literally all these cards. And that's the thing I want to talk about with these Winter Wild cards. I think they can be good trades, but yesterday they lost so many people, so many coins because they just kept falling down in price. Now I'm trading with a few of them right now, but I'm trying to just do a few trades and not hold on to them for super long because I don't want to risk it. I bought a couple of Kevin Shada for like 100,000 coins because that's a very popular card I think people would want to try out today. He's still like 110k at the moment. I picked up a Claudia Pina. This is one I bought earlier for 497, so I'm losing on that one at the moment. Cordoba I bought for 319. Cordoba here I bought for 393, and I think he's like 470 right now. So we're going to do a few trades with these cards, but I think after a morning rise, I do believe that they will drop down in value. I do not think that they're going to hold their prices that good because there is so much supply. Now, there's a lot of coins right now in this game too, right? We got to realize that. There's a lot of people that have coins from waiting to buy their team, from of course, the market crash that we had in this last week. We saw prices drop down a ton, and of course, people are waiting to buy their squads, but man, with how cheap these prices are, I just have to imagine it's going to continue to impact the rest of the market. Of course, yesterday, it did have some nice rises. There was a nice Friday night bubble, and even some players that were in packs, like the best of re-release Rodri here. Thunderstruck Rodri was 625 yesterday in packs. He still went up in price because it feels like he's getting packed less than the Winter Wildcards are. Just to be safe, I would sell all of these cards. Like, I would not hold on to a best of re-release player because they're in packs for 2 weeks. This Winter Wildcards team is only in packs for 1. And out of packs players, this is what I mean by the rest of the market not being able to be trusted or potentially crashing because of how cheap the Winter Wildcards are. Like this De Jong for 960,000 coins. You look at that card and you're like, okay, that's a pretty good card. But then you look at some of the other midfielders that are out and you're like, wait, Valverde has got plus 12 shooting over him, plus 6 pace. Valverde does not have incisive, but, you know, this isn't the best example. But he's got Tiki Taka plus, and he's only 770k, and he could go lower. Like, the Winter Wildcards in comparison to other players in this game are so cheap. They did go up, though. Like, Vidic, you know, De Jong yesterday, they did go up. There were good trades there. And out-of-packs players are more rare, which does make them more safer to trade with. But I think the rest of the market as a whole, we just have to be treading lightly with how cheap these cards are. These cards are going to start taking over. We're getting daily player SBCs. We're getting evolutions that are allowing max 86 rated cards. That is just going to mean people are going to be opting for Evo cards for SBC players. And maybe some of these cards that they pack untradeable in their teams rather than going and buying these players off the market. So I actually am a little worried for how the market is going to react throughout the rest of this weekend. I'm going to be very careful buying these cards because I don't think they're going to maintain their prices that well. We'll do a couple of fluctuation flips. I think if you want to buy a Winter Wildcards player for your team, I would be looking more so at like Sunday as an opportunity to pick one up to actually feel okay to hold on to it for a few days. I think Sunday or Monday might be an okay time for that because as of right now, it just looks like these cards are going to fall even further. I think EA is going to run more lightning rounds today. There's going to be a lot more weekend league rewards that are opened, of course, tradable. And that is where we get our biggest supply for all the cards in packs on the weekends. Wow, like it was just a crazy market day. One of the craziest market days of the year yesterday. We streamed for so long. Guys, I streamed for 5.5 hours yesterday, and I didn't play a single game. A true TFA stream yesterday because the market was just crazy with all the movements that it had, and it's going to be a crazy one today as well. Drop your market questions down below in the comments. I'll try to get to some of them today, responding in the YouTube video comments there. But let's move forward a little bit and talk about the other crazy news that we had. One of the reasons that some of the player prices were dropping on the market yesterday is because the leakers are tweeting about Evos that take us to 2 playstyle pluses, and Ronaldinho actually fits this Evo. The other max 87 Evos, he wouldn't because he's 88 rated, but Foot Agent says Bombazo, 88 evolution, 2 playstyle pluses, finesse plus, Ronaldinho can be used. And this was kind of like a, what? sort of tweet. Now, obviously, we've seen a couple of tweets recently, so we knew this probably wasn't going to be an actual Evo that gets released soon. This is probably in the season pass that is starting next week, but probably won't be attainable until mid-January, right? Foot Police responds to this and says season pass. So this is going to be an evolution that we won't be able to get probably until the middle of January, but it just helps us kind of see where Evos are about to go and maybe even look into the future as to why this Dino could be worth completing right now. Now, this is the tweet that built off of that leak. Foot Police quote tweeted the Foot Agent 2 Playstyle Plus Finesse Plus Evo leak here and said, "It is over. A new Max 87 evolution is set to come to Ultimate Team soon. Should give plus 10 pace, limited to 88, plus 1 overall. But it's Max 87, so guess who fits? Claudia Pina. Combined with the Max 88 Finesse Second Playstyle Plus, we should get the best striker in the game. This is the first season pass I will grind," he says. So Gold Claudia Pina would fit this evolution and go up to 88 pace, and you could give her Finesse Plus from the season pass. Cornerstones Pina, actually the 87 Pina would fit as well from the Player of the Month, but she already has Finesse Plus, so it wouldn't really be worth it for her. But this is what he's saying. In this next season pass, we're going to be able to create an 88 rated Claudia Pina with low driven and Finesse Plus and give her plus 8 pace from this Cornerstones card or from her gold card as well. That's crazy. I responded right away. I was like, hold on. The Max 87 Evo that gives plus 10 pace up to 88, surely that's in the season pass too, right? He says, to be fair, it's really hard to say because EA released some Max 87 evolutions today. I think the 2 Playstyle Plus evolutions are in the season pass. As for the other ones, I'm not sure. Now, I'm going to use my common sense here and experience on this game and say I do think that this Max 87 Evo with the plus 10 pace is going to be in the season pass as well, because the only Max 87 Evos that we had, he mentioned we got Max 87 Evos yesterday, they were Roll Plus Plus evolutions. I mean, those aren't really actual evolutions. They are, but they're not like stat boosting Evos like a plus 10 pace would be. Now, the only thing to kind of counteract my point there and agree with what he's saying is if EA is going to release the Flash Evos again, like they did on Black Friday, that's very similar to the Flash Evos that we had on Black Friday. They gave like, what, plus 7? Maybe they juiced them up just a little bit more for Winter Wildcards and then release them as Max 87s. That would be where I could see this SBC or this evolution, Max 87 plus 10 pace Evo, actually being a legit Evo. So that's one thing that we're going to have to watch very closely, because this would make Claudia Pina's price go even lower. I mean, she's already dirt cheap, but that's probably one of the reasons that she is dirt cheap right now, because people are saying, wait a second, I got this Player of the Month Pina, or I packed this one, or I got the gold. I'm going to be able to Evo it, give it plus 10 pace, and then Finesse Plus in the future? Why do I need one of these cards? That might be a part of the situation right now with the Pina price being as cheap as she is, but that's just huge news. Now, speaking of evolutions, I want to talk about this for a quick second, because EA told us how many Evos we're going to be getting in this 2 weeks of Winter Wildcards. Winter Wildcards delivers 16 new evolutions, releasing across the 2 weeks of the campaign. Players can also end the year with a Frosty facelift through 4 special cosmetic Evos. Now, 16 new evolutions. We had 1 yesterday, but then also we have these rolls Evos. So this counts for probably, what, 5 as well? So is that 6, or do these not count? I don't know. We're going to have to see, and we're going to have to look through some of the Evo leaks as we get into today's content on Saturday and beyond, just to give us some more detail on that, because 16 evolutions, if they're actual stat boosting Evos, would be on average 1 per day and then 2 extra. So I have to imagine those roll Evos do count, but we'll have to see. And especially watch out for more Max 86 rated Evos. Now, let's talk about more content today on Saturday. Of course, we look at our SBC Advent calendar. We've got a Spurs and a Juventus logo, and it's the 20th of December today, right? The countdown to Christmas, only 5 days away. Of the names that we have so far leaked for SBCs, we do have a Spurs player, Kudus, and it wasn't on this graphic, but we do have Locatelli also leaked for the SBCs today. So of course you can kind of look at the rest of the Advent calendar here and look down and see like, okay, Roma and Napoli on Sunday tomorrow. Then you look at the leaked player list and you're like, okay, we got Buongiorno from Napoli and we've got Dybala from Roma. The Dybala card, those are official stats, by the way. does look pretty good. Again, though, if these are jersey number cards, kind of like how EA mentioned they would be in Foot Sheriff leaked that as well, jersey shirt number SBCs, there might be dynamic images of them, you know, with the jersey on the back with the actual kit number showing, kind of like the good old days. So kudos for Spurs. He's getting another SBC card. My Evo's better. I already know. It's fine. 90 dribbling, 93 pace. I'll still do this SBC, but I'll keep the Evo one. This Dybala looks fantastic, so I'm very excited to see his card. That Guerrero looks really good as well. Guerrero should be on the 22nd of December. It's kind of interesting to look at the leaked list and try to figure out the advent calendar ahead of time because of leaks now. We can kind of decipher that. The only one we don't know is the Santa hat. We know the Chelsea, that's Caicedo. Liverpool, I mean, that's probably the other, who was the Liverpool player that we had leaked? Joe Gomez. Dortmund would be Emre Can. Newcastle would be Lewis Hall. Of course, Bayern would be Guerrero. Real Madrid would be Courtois. Atletico Madrid would be not Llorente because he's in objectives. I don't know who the other, Le Normand. But, you know, we're going to have to wait and see who that question mark is on Christmas for the Santa hat dynamic because EA said that would be a part of it as well. But again, today, Locatelli and Kudus. And of course, today, we could get another evolution. The only one we have leaked right now is the Winter Wildcards Incisive Pass Plus Evo that just seems to be more of a playstyle boost than actually a stat boost there. But that's something that we're going to be watching very closely as well. Watch out for like Flash Rush events. I mean, I don't know if EA mentioned that there would be a Flash Rush event as a part of this promo, but you know, usually they do drop in those events. There's so much other gameplay on right now though, with Weekend League, with the tournaments, Gauntlets that's upcoming as well. Not that that's actually happening right now. We still have the Season 3 Evo tournament that's out too. We'll maybe not get a Flash Rush event. We'll have to see. But today's Saturday content is mostly about the SBCs. Get your dailies done, man. The daily SBCs are refreshing each and every day. Are phenomenal, of course, with the upgrade packs. Do the 85 to 87s as well, guys. When you get your 82 to 83s or the 82 by 10s done and you get all the 82s and 83s out of that, absolutely go ahead and do these SBCs because there are 87 rated promo cards that you could pack from this SBC. You could pack Cruyff. Yeah, you could pack Cruyff's Winter Wildcard icon from the 85 to 87 pack since he is 87 rated. That is the draw to doing an SBC like this at the moment. And if you opened a lot of safe packs yesterday, you probably have a lot of 83s in your club. Obviously, like I do right now. That's way more 83s than I've had before. My club is stocked. We're going to keep ripping some packs, and we're going to try to make some coins in the market today, guys. Be very careful out there trading because the market is really cooked. But at the same time, prices are really cheap. So if there's a player that you see that you want for your team, like go ahead and try it out. Just probably don't hold on to that player for too long. But drop your questions down below in the comments. Hopefully day 2 of Winter Wildcards delivers. Not quite as a promo Friday level because we can't expect it to deliver on that same level. But like at least up there, at least pretty good content. But if you enjoyed this video, man, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you guys have any questions, of course. And subscribe if you're new. I'm going to make some coins and I'll see you guys in the video tomorrow. Happy Saturday. Enjoy the football today. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you later. Peace out.